Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Shanny Show. I'm kind of nervous about this, if I'm honest. I'm excited, but I'm also pretty nervous. I grew up on Indiana Jones. I grew up on the movies. There were a couple that I didn't watch, mainly the Crystal Skull one, and then what was the other one? Temple of Doom. Mainly because those were my least favorite. I still enjoyed them, but they were my least favorite. I wanted to watch Dial of Destiny in theaters. That didn't happen. And will this come? Will I do this before? I don't know if this is going to be before or after my Disneyland vlog. If I do one, I want to do a Disneyland vlog, so we'll see. And I'm recording this like well before my first Disneyland trip, which is on January 20th. And I thought that it would be a real shame if I didn't watch Dial of Destiny before I went to Disneyland. As I said, I grew up on Indiana Jones. I like make the half joke that yes, we'll have like this serious proposal, quote unquote, where obviously I said yes. And then the next time we're at Disneyland, I want my proposal to be in the line of the Indiana Jones ride, like right before you enter the inside line at like the little archway into the temple. That's how much I loved Indiana Jones and how much I still love Indiana Jones to this day. When I was younger, I also loved Captain Jack Sparrow from Pirates of the Caribbean, and Indiana Jones and Captain Jack Sparrow were neck and neck when I was a kid. Don't know why. Well, I think I know why. With all that said, I need some incentive to watch it, and I would feel a little bit ashamed if I didn't watch it at this point, considering it came out last year. Pressing play. I don't want an ad. Disney 100. Oh, what are the warnings? I didn't even read that. I want to see what the warnings are. Dang. They disappeared too quickly for me to read them. Okay, PG-13 for sequences of violence, action, language. Is that indie? Or is that... No. I paused this thinking I was gonna say, oh yeah, so there is not not that George Lucas is a bad filmmaker. What else has he done, actually? But what I was gonna say, he hasn't really done a lot that I personally enjoyed. I do like going on Star Tours. I think the main thing that I've enjoyed from George Lucas is Indiana Jones. Young Indy. I need to watch Young Indiana Jones too. Who plays Young Indy? Okay, one thing at a time. I am so distracting myself from watching this movie. I'm aware of that. I'll get there in a moment. I'll get back to it in a moment. I got distracted. Again, because I'm nervous about this movie. I think a large part of the reason why I'm nervous about this is, as I've mentioned in previous videos, I believe, I'm not the best with things ending. So usually I don't start something unless it has an end. This usually applies to TV series, to anime series, to book series. So with Indiana Jones, not that there's last movie to it, this is the final movie. This is the final installment, period, with Indiana Jones. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to the movie. Okay, but first, that's not Indy. Indy's, that's Indy. My main concern is where the heck is Indy? That has to be Indiana Jones, because we have to be introduced to our main character within, yeah, that's Indy. I remember seeing this scene places. Okay, so I have a piece of candy in my mouth, excuse that. I knew Mads Mikkelsen was in this. He's not a bad actor. I don't mind him. He was just in a movie that I did not like. Because at this point, I'm like, did they find the Ark somehow or get their hands on the Ark? That doesn't look like the Ark box though, that's the thing. They did not, okay, it's not the Ark, it's something else. What? The lance of someone? Oh, okay. I have to remember religious artifacts. The lance of Longinus. The blade that drew Christ's blood. I have to look at this up because Longinus does not sound right. Okay, it's right. It just doesn't sound right. The lance of Longinus, that doesn't sound right. Okay, whatever. Oh, he just touched it. Don't. It's not funny, but at the same time it's funny. His life is on the line. How far am I in? 4 minutes in. His life is on the line 4 minutes in, and they're putting the noose around his neck, and it's not even 4 minutes in, and they're getting ready to kill him. It's like, this is a world record for Indy. It's funny because you know he's gonna get out of it. Is it a died? Is it gonna be? It's delayed. Called it right as it happened. Oh god, what is going on? I'm not enjoying this. I'm enjoying it, but I'm like 5 minutes in, roughly. Do I know what's going on? I didn't even remember what the plot was, which is probably why I'm confused, but why are we here? Plot holes was the second thing to show up. Okay, so kind of going back to the specific scene where he was about to hang, and then like the bomb exploded, and then the guys died or whatever, the Nazi soldiers died or whatever, and Indiana Jones made it because he's Indiana Jones, and he still had the rope around his neck. And it was taking him, like, I get it, he was trying to figure out how to get his footing, but it's like, once I had some semblance of stability, I would be taking that thing off. Why is he always around fire? Or why does an explosion happen for one reason or another when Indiana Jones is involved with the Nazis? Why? I have the subtitles on. I don't know if this was intentional or not, but they just captured whom I'm assuming is Indiana Jones' partner, friend, at least during this time period. And you have some of the German soldiers. I can't talk right now, apparently. You have some of the German soldiers shouting. I didn't even say that right, but the soldiers were shouting, the German one. And the subtitle literally said stormtroopers. And again, I don't know if that was intentional to be like, hey, like Lucas films, you know. It says stormtroopers. Okay, quick note. There were German soldiers called stormtroopers, but their days of operation were 1914 to 1918, whereas this Indiana Jones is obviously set during World War II, 30 years after their operation, or 20-ish years. A little bit of a mistake there. It's kind of funny because Indiana Jones villains, especially the ones that have connection to World War II, always seem to try to hold something back from the Führer, and most often, especially with Belloc, his explanation on it was like, oh, we need to test it out and make sure it works before the Führer gets it. I don't think that that is this character's reasoning. He's just punching everyone. Well, he's not punching everyone. This is the first person he's punched in this movie. They didn't question. I'm questioning these German soldiers. He's getting ready to drive, and then like the two guys get into the car. No one's questioning that there's an unconscious soldier on the floor. Okay, but I will say that the fact that the soldiers that are in the car with Indy, the fact that they're like not trying to stop him and they're just trying to talk to him to convince him to stop the car or whatever, or go back on track, none of the Germans' actions are making sense. Okay, so I'm assuming that Indy is also after this lance, but we're really having a long build up to it. Okay, so Indy thinks he has the box of the lance. I think Mads Mikkelsen has it. Let's see who's right. I feel like Mads has it. I was wrong. I feel like it's a little too early for this kind of a quick scene. Oh my god. Andy got like thrown while in the tunnel. I will say that this movie is keeping me hooked. Shoot her! Okay, so Indy's saying shoot him to Basil, telling Basil to shoot the Colonel. It made me think of the scene in Jurassic Park where he's like, shoot her! It is that scene. It is that scene. I'm not surprised by this, but at the same time I am, because we were so happy at the end of the previous movie. The Crystal Skull movie. They were happy at the end of that movie, supposedly. Why do we have to keep doing this to Marion and Indy? We don't need to keep putting them through this loop. And where's Indy's son? Where's Henry Jones III? I don't like this. I don't like this. Of course she knows. Okay, so it's the moon landing day. He's such an old man. I do like that. He's such an old man in this, and he's like, oh, he's retiring. Oh, okay, so it makes sense that it's his last like great adventure. Why is this girl following her now? I don't want to be disappointed in this movie. I seriously don't, which is why I think I put it off. I knew he had to survive, but like that hit. Yep, he is alive. Although how he's alive, Mads Mikkelsen's character, he had to be alive for the sake of the movie. He had to be alive because he's in these nemesis. But he hit a metal pipe from a water tower while he was on a moving train, and he got knocked off that moving train because of that metal water pipe attached to the water tower. How did he survive that? A train that was going full freaking speed. How did... I love it. And then he's like, did you fight for your country in the war? It's like, yes, I was in this battalion. Match goes on task. Are you enjoying your victory? No fucking shit. Your leader was a dumbass and a jerk. Be suspicious. This guy is annoying as fuck. Yes, they did. What? Just said you didn't win the war. Hitler lost it. That means they won, okay? Tomato, tomato. It's the same thing. It's not that they showed too much in the trailer. I just think they showed the wrong things in the trailer. Wait a second. How did they get up there? She seems a little bit too keen about this. She seems a little too excited about this. These guys are so fucking stupid. Barely halfway through. This movie is like 2.5 hours long. Oh, you're too old for this. He's too old for this. Why are they after her? Did she steal something from him? Does she have the other half of the dial? I bet she has the other half of the dial. He's freaking hooded again. I didn't have high expectations for this movie. This movie is all freaking over the place. I still love Indy. He gets on a horse. I love it. I love Indy. I'm not loving this movie, but I love Indiana. Indy! Not the horsey! You got hit by a water tower, dude. How are you alive? By the way, I feel like there are people gonna comment like, oh, it's plot armor. I know what plot armor is, and I know that's why he's alive, but I'm still gonna argue the point. I am 46 minutes in. I'm about 47 minutes in. I'm gonna stop right now because I have stuff to do. I want to love this movie. I want to, and I really wanted to love this movie. As I was kind of saying in earlier clips, I love Indy. I love Indiana Jones. There's no way I'm not gonna love Indiana Jones. This movie is not doing it. It is now Wednesday. I didn't end up finishing Indiana Jones yesterday, Tuesday, like I said I was going to do. Considering I started it, I may as well finish it even though I kind of don't want to. I at least want to try to get 50% of the way through, half of the way through before I decide if I'm... I don't want to give it up though. I have 120 minutes remaining. A little bit of a side note, I may also be working on some crochet in this video. I'm not going to do it on camera just because that would be a little bit much and that's not the point of this video. Okay, so I'm kind of wondering. I don't think she knows this gal, the gal who is following Helena Shaw. So she is working with Mads Mikkelsen's character, working for the US or a branch of the US government. Maybe CIA, unconfirmed. It's like, why else are they going after her if she didn't have... But her dad was... I'm confused. Oh, he recognizes Indy. Okay, so I didn't get my immediate reaction to this. There's like some news crews at the college covering what happened at the college that Indy worked at. So again, Marion filed for divorce. I don't know if I mentioned that, but Marion filed for divorce and that's gone through the works. And the news reporter says, we're currently looking for missing Professor Indiana Jones, retired, who was in the middle of a divorce and just lost his son. So we already knew about the divorce because we saw the divorce files. For them to drop that bomb on us that Indy lost his son, Shia LaBeouf's character, I just want to know where Stella is, okay? I want to know where he is, okay? He's gonna be the only good thing about this movie. Harrison Ford is a good thing about this movie, you know? But at this point, it's gonna be the combination of Harrison Ford as Indy and then John Rhys Davies as Salah.
Sorry I'm late, Indy.
I literally just mentioned that Salah was gonna be like the one redeeming thing. Who shows up? Salah. Okay, I feel a little better. And he punches a guy, I love it. Okay, we're just punching people in this movie, I guess. Okay, what is Salah gonna tell? Okay. I swear to God, this movie is a mess. This movie's a mess.
Belongs in a museum.
There's the line. It belongs in a museum. We know what her reason, or we don't know what her reasoning is. We know what she's doing now. Okay, it doesn't look like she has the other halves. I'm most likely wrong about that. So we know what she's doing. We know what she's done. I'm not gonna say that because that was a spoiler, but I want to know why she's done it, why she's doing it. You know, because it's like because it doesn't make sense why she's doing it. Go, Indy. You know, she's kind of stupid. Honestly, like I feel like she was smarter when she was younger. She's kind of stupid because it's like if your godfather is saying that someone was a Nazi, I would believe your godfather and be like, hey, I'm gonna pause the bidding for right now. Go talk to my godfather a little bit about this. I will say that Mads Mikkelsen just had a really clever line as he was going down the elevator. He's like, see you in the past, Dr. Jones. That was clever. Yeah, girl, you're stupid. I will say that this will be a fun ride. Or addition to the ride. Since I mentioned the whole ride deal, like this would be a good addition to the ride. Not that they would need to overhaul the whole Indiana Jones ride because I really love that ride. But it does need some updates, like the Falling Rock not doing its thing anymore. I do think this would be a fun little addition to the ride somewhere, you know? Or to like if we're gonna update the Indiana Jones ride, include elements from all of the movies, you know? But anyway, now that I mentioned that, like, not quite halfway through, I'm an hour and 5 minutes in. This scene is really feeling like more ride-esque rather than, not that it's not helping the plot, but it's like, it feels like it's lagging on too much and it feels more ride-esque, as I said, rather than actually helping out the plot in any real way. I want to continue because I want to know how it ends, but at the same time, I don't want to continue because, as I've said so many times at this point, this movie is a mess. And it's like of course we have to try to get the other half of the Who's the dial, but it's like it's almost like parts of it are dragging on too long and then you're like, oh wait a second, I'm only halfway through the movie. Ah, the old map traveling, I love this. Okay, you know, I think what I wanted from this movie was the feel of the old movies and I'm not getting that. Oh Jesus.
Did he sign up to plead? No, he signed up to piss me off.
That's how he lost his son. Okay, the thing with Teddy, this kid who's with Helena, any other like younger characters they've had in Indiana Jones, they've been likable, even if they haven't done all the right things the entire time, like all the time. They're likable somehow. But it's like with him, like it's not that he's unlikable, but he's not likable either, which I guess is why Helena likes him, but at the same time it's like I'm not invested in this kid. Okay, and another thing, so Helena gave him the wrong directions to where to find the other half of the dial. You don't think that given his past interactions with Indy that he would keep an eye on where y'all are headed? You know, I just want Sala to somehow know where they are and make an appearance. Okay, I actually do care about Teddy a little bit now. He says to leave them. Of course he does. My main intention of this little update is I meant to pause halfway through. I didn't. Now I'm 1 hour and 49 minutes in with 47 minutes left to go. Apparently I'm finishing this until the end. Okay, maybe it's just me. Maybe not. But this scene reminds me of The Mummy. It's too similar, honestly. Okay, I'm sorry. Crystal Skull was not my favorite, but I'm preferring it more than this one. And it's like, I understand, like, going back and forth in time or whatever, getting stuff. Like, the Phoenix freeze on Archimedes' tomb had propellers. Archimedes is wearing a watch. And it's like, all to pull together that this can like make you travel back in time or forward in time or whatever. It's almost like this movie was such a mess that they were like, okay, let's throw one more thing in there. Why not? I'm stress crocheting for the first time. I'm stress crocheting. Another thing I think too is that this movie's having too many fight scenes. And I feel like it's like we have a fight scene and then it's like I feel like we're having too many major fight scenes, is the right way to phrase it, because it's like we have a big fight scene and then it's like lulls a little bit, big fight scene, lull, and then it's like, but it's like a lot of it was more of like intellectual, whereas this one's like too many fist fights, gun fights, you know? Okay, good Teddy. I still kind of don't like him, but like, you know, he's doing okay in this half of the movie, or in this third of the movie, I should say. I was not expecting this. He's not going. No wonder he made that comment about Hitler lost the war. It's making sense. Of course it comes together in the last freaking third. But this movie is still a mess, I think. Okay, you know what? I am gonna skip ahead a little bit, sadly. I'm confused. Maybe I shouldn't have. Okay. What's the point? Okay, so they didn't intentionally fly into the Roman trireme battle. Triremes are like the ships. Why are they firing at the fucking ships? So that's Archimedes. Don't be stupid. You guys, they're gonna be stupid. The wrong war. I love it. And of course, he's all mad because of something he tried to instigate. He's like, oh, like, I can't be here. Like, no shit. So what I said earlier, where it's like, oh, this movie was such a mess that they just had to throw one more in. It's like, oh, let's end this movie in fire and chaos. Please, okay. Please tell me he has the thingamabobber time machine. You're not helping, my friends. She shot you. Die already, you idiot. Crash and burn. But the thing is this changes the course of history because it's like you died in the past. Oh my god, please tell me Mads Mikkelsen is dead. At least he can die in one thing. Again, Mads Mikkelsen is not a bad actor. I just don't. Oh god damn. You still the I love this. I love this shit show. Indy, you gotta get back home. Things are slowing down a little bit. The corners are blurred. Oh, that's interesting. So in some of these scenes during the Siege of Syracuse, when you're focusing on Indy and Helena, the corners of the screen, or the corners of the view, are blurred. No, you're not staying. It's Archimedes. He's gonna send them back home. Do not give Indiana a choice. Do not give Indy a choice. I don't care if there's a language barrier. Indy is not getting a choice. Indy, shut up. Thank you. Please tell me someone got Marion. Please tell me someone got Marion so she can talk some fucking sense into him. Please. I've never stress crocheted in my life. Okay, there's Hannah. Please, for her? Oh. Sal is there too. Oh, they're going back to the Ark movie reference. Oh, we're ending on a positive note, I guess. Overall thoughts, that movie was a mess. The ending kind of made the mess worth it though, and I'm glad I didn't stop. I would say I'd probably give it like 6 out of 10. This video was a lot. So thank you all for sticking around if you made it this far. If you've seen this movie, let me know what you thought about it. Oh yeah, I was gonna look up plot holes. Okay, fair enough. So the first one is, how is Indy able to fly after his face is plastered all over the news when he's suspected of murder? Okay, second one, why doesn't Helena initially care about Indy? This one, so. On the one hand, I understand why people consider it a plot hole, but at the same time, it's like the whole premise is that they were estranged because of Indy's fight with her dad. A big one, I think, this is in the top 3, is why doesn't Indy believe in the supernatural things, especially considering all the other movies? And yet, like, again, like the top one, or I guess the number one is, how did Archimedes' portal plan work? Yeah, but at the same time, it's like this movie was a mess, so yeah, that's gonna be a plot hole. Anyway, as I was saying, let me know what your thoughts are about this movie if you watched it. Thank you all for watching, and especially if you made it this far, and I'll see you all in my next video.